Hello there, great person, and welcome to this hopefully deep dive into the SCP Foundation, which was recommended by you guys in the comments from the Warhammer 40k lore reaction. So thanks to you. I will now start diving into the great universe that is SCP. So I know a little bit about it already, but not a lot. So for everyone new here, and for everyone who was wondering what I know about this already is, like, I know the weird Weeping Angel statue thing. I know the weird dude that if you see him, he will, or if he sees you, no, if you see him, I think, see, I'm already struggling. He kills you, he comes and kills you. And I know there's a company called SCP, I think, and they try to detain those things, and there are very many stories about it, I think. So I don't really know, but yeah, let's just see what exactly we're dealing with when we talk about SCP. And I'm gonna react to a video called The SCP Foundation Explained. So I hope it will be explained in great detail what all of this is. And yeah, so if you like the video I'm gonna be reacting to, please make sure to visit the original video site, and it's in the description, and give them some likes and watch it there as well. And also like this video, of course, if you like this reaction. And yeah, consider subscribing. We're almost at 2,000 subs, which you guys are the best. So, but without further ado, let's go into this and let's see what the SCP Foundation has in store for us, and what horrors it will bring. So there we are. Let's see what this is all about, and let's go.
A woman is being tortured. The methods of her abuse are too horrific to be described, and her torturers are death row prison inmates, the absolute worst of the worst. This woman's torture is constant, and procedures are put into place to make sure she never becomes accustomed to the pain. If ever her torturers express sympathy toward their victim, their superiors will have them removed and replaced. If they try to rescue her or put her out of her misery, they themselves will be shot without hesitation. The woman being tortured is known only as SCP-231-7, and worst of all, she's pregnant. The cause of her eternal torture? The SCP Foundation. And you'll be shocked to learn that when all is said and done, these are the good guys. Because if they ever stop their brutal treatment of SCP-231-7, a treatment codenamed Procedure 110 Montauk, she'll give birth to a creature that will destroy the world as we know it. This is just one of the many examples of the objects and entities under the watchful eyes of the SCP Foundation.
What the fuck? What the fuck is this? Okay, you got me there. Like, I like it already. It's fun. It's basically, I know most of these things. Like, I know the SCP is a designation for things, I guess, that are weird. And this one is definitely a bit of a, I know it's probably not meant as that sounded like a parody to this typical, oh my god, she's gonna get a demon child and she's gonna give birth to Satan, and we have to stop it. Like they put that in there as a trope or whatever. That's cool. I love it already. Yeah. If you're new to the channel, I sometimes pause stuff because I have a lot to say. That's why people hopefully are here. Let's go.
A mysterious group that strives to achieve greater good by any means necessary, and we do mean any. What you're
so sorry, I just realized it's almost the same guy that it's almost the same guy that's with In a Nutshell. You know, the science channel? I reacted to that long time ago, to the science videos. He sounds like this. That sounds like In a Nutshell video that's explaining me the real world. Oh, I love it. Great.
About to hear is above classified, and be warned, what is heard can never be unheard. Never. Unless, of course, the Foundation gets its hands on you. So what is the SCP Foundation? In the most basic sense, the group's mission statement is right there in the SCP acronym. Secure, contain, protect. It's the task of the Foundation to, in their own words, contain anomalous objects, entities, and phenomena. Things that don't make sense, things that don't belong, things that simply don't fit in with our perception of reality, and some things that pose an existential threat to all human life. They refer to these contained anomalies as SCPs,
what the fuck is he?
Each of which is accompanied by a number. This is a broad umbrella, as an SCP can range from benign or even actively helpful to downright apocalyptic if ever released. Much like the infamous Men in Black often reported by witnesses in connection with alien sightings,
what is
the
that?
Foundation works in secret
thing?
to maintain a sense of normalcy at all costs, knowing the chaos it would cause if any of the anomalies they're harboring ever become public.
Brilliant.
Take, for example, SCP-500. To the untrained eye, the object is just an unassuming prescription pill bottle, the kind you'd see in medicine cabinets the world over. But the pills in this humble bottle are unlike any earthly medicine. They can cure quite literally anything, from cancer to a cold within 2 hours. But at the time of this writing, there are only 47 pills left. The power to cure all disease, a privilege denied to even the richest and most powerful in society. A veritable holy grail. Can you imagine the violence and horror that would break out in trying to obtain them if their existence ever became public?
I love that. Oh, that's so cool. Oh my god, I didn't expect it to be this cool this quickly. Yeah. Like, of course that would suck. Like, everyone would kill each other. That's so cool. I always assumed it was horror. And it is horror, don't get me wrong. Like, this is horror because if it got to the public, everyone would, like, start trying to get it. A bit like the Elder Wand, though it's like every time the Elder Wand is used, if it's then, like, getting shorter. I know it's a stupid analogy, but you get my point. It's cool. That's cool. Though I would like to read a story about what happens if it goes out. You know, it's like at this point it's just a bad idea, but like this idea you could imagine stuff that could happen, but I would love to hear what really would happen. Yeah.
The SCP Foundation works in secret because the collective mind of society just couldn't handle the knowledge of what
they never can.
They work with the approval of all world governments, effectively placing them above international law.
Because world governments never are incompetent with legal.
Because without the Foundation's work, there would be no humans left to govern. To understand the basic operations of this above top secret organization, we need to delve a little further into that secure, contain, protect slogan. Secure refers to the Foundation's practice of constant global surveillance and observation in order to detect and intercept anomalous activity before it can interact with civilians or rival groups. Contain involves preventing the effects or influence of the anomaly from spreading by either, in their own words, relocating, concealing, or dismantling such anomalies, or by suppressing or preventing public dissemination of knowledge thereof. The latter can involve practices such as using advanced chemical compounds or technologies to delete and then rewrite the memories of infected civilians, or even committing mass murder if necessary to cover their tracks. The SCP Foundation has, in the past, wiped out entire towns of innocent civilians to prevent dangerous information about the SCP spreading beyond their control. They can take lives at their own discretion and consider almost any crime to be permissible when the alternative is Armageddon. And finally, Protect pertains to all operations meant to protect mankind from the SCPs, up to and including neutralizing and destroying them when possible. Some SCPs, such as the infamous SCP-682,
Edward looked like the thing from Full Metal Alchemist. Okay, not really, but you know this. Oh, it has an eye. It has a cute little eye. I mean, it looks pretty cute. I mean, yes, it's half rotten and a skeleton, but aside from that, it looks pretty cute. Like, wouldn't you want to have that for a pet? Let's see what it actually does.
P-682, a nigh-indestructible genocidal reptilian, have proved to be almost impossible to destroy. Research is ongoing in many cases, as the Foundation explores any and all possible methods of reducing the threat of more dangerous SCPs. In order.
Okay, so apparently it kills everything. I mean, okay, and if it's an indestructible, couldn't you just throw it down a hole? Like, how would it get out? Like, I've seen this movie with the killer swimming pool. It was stupid as fuck, but he didn't get out of that swimming pool, and the alligator didn't as well. So, I mean, this looks like a rotten alligator, so it would work. Like, just throw it in a pit. I would be good. I would be a good member of the Foundation.
The Foundation has created a system that organizes the SCPs based on the difficulty of containing them. The first of the primary object classes is Safe, pertaining to SCPs that require little, if any, resources to safely and properly contain. Examples include the previously mentioned SCP-500 pill bottle and...
What? Why would that be safe? It's not safe. Its implications for humanity are terrifying. Why would it be safe? What? I mean, yes, it itself is safe, but don't they have like psychologists or sociologists that would analyze it and see, oh, that would fuck us up, would kill everyone, because everyone wants it. Everyone wants it. My precious bottle of pills.
SCP-999, a benevolent blob of gelatinous orange matter. SCP-999 is a playful, almost dog-like personality. It causes feelings of happiness and euphoria in whoever or whatever it touches. It's even been used by the Foundation as a pacification tool to reduce aggression in other SCPs. The second primary object class is Euclid, which refers to any anomaly that requires more resources to contain completely or where containment isn't always reliable. This is the broadest SCP class, and the majority of sentient, sapient, or autonomous anomalies fall into this category. A Euclid SCP might be something as huge, sprawling, and bizarre as SCP-3008. This SCP appears to be a kind of anomalous pocket dimension hidden inside an IKEA superstore, which is not only significantly larger on the inside by approximately 10 kilometers, but also contains bizarre, faceless entities which can become hostile under the right conditions.
You know what? This reminds me so much of Doctor Who, of the first of episode Rose, with the stupid mannequin people. But so there are at least 3,000 of, like, and most are this. Wouldn't people know? I don't know, but it's pretty cool that they have a IKEA superstore where these weirdos are running around. I mean, IKEA's pretty cool, so go buy at IKEA. Perhaps I am working at IKEA. Perhaps I want you to go there now, buy a cupboard, and the cupboard will not, you won't be able to build it because there will always be one screw missing, and that will be an SCP. It is safe, though very annoying. Is that how it goes? I'm sorry, I'm not working for IKEA.
SCP can also be something as seemingly innocuous as SCP-294, which appears to the untrained eye to be a standard coffee vending machine. However, unlike any other coffee machine, the input system on SCP-294 is a QWERTY keyboard. This SCP can manifest any liquid typed in on the keyboard.
Isn't that cool?
From standard drinks like coffee and beer to more esoteric compounds like sulfuric acid and disease-infected human blood. During extensive tests, one subject requested the perfect drink and was given an odorless lavender-colored liquid. After consuming the liquid, the subject went into a state of euphoric shock. The subject later committed suicide, leaving a note which read, "I'm sorry, but at this point everything's just one big letdown."
It's Rick and Morty. It's perfect level. What's so funny? It's so funny. Oh, I love these. Like, I didn't expect it to be funny. I thought it was horror. It's so stupid. I love it. Oh, I love it. It's so stupid. Though, like, I don't know yet, and I hope they explain it. Like, how do these? I know it's, if I remember correctly, like, I did this, like, it feels like 14 years ago when I watched, or when I like read, I think, one or two of those documents they had, and I don't remember much, but, and they supposedly leaked or something, I don't know, so, like, I hope there are stories behind that are, like, more terrifying, because this is like, yeah, these are interesting, weird mechanics in the world they discovered, and yeah, we'll live with that, just don't go near it or something, and I'm sure they will show something worse, but because to this point it's just like some fun thought experiments.
Sadly, subjects dying during tests is not uncommon. The SCP Foundation essentially has limitless resources, including access to countless disposable workers and test subjects. The most common of these are so-called D-class personnel, which are death row inmates conscripted for the purposes of often lethal SCP experimentation or containment.
I remember! Oh, I remember one. I remember, yeah, wait. I remember this. There was an SCP I read and I found it terrifying. And I know, I think there was a game about it with the staircase. And they sent death row inmates into the staircase, and like would go on forever sometimes. Sometimes it was just like 2 levers. I think it was a custodian cupboard or whatever, out of school, I don't know. And there's like this face with arms that grabs you and kills you. And there was this, that was horrifying. I loved it. It was one of the most scary things I've read, where like one of the inmates then tried to get up again from the stairs, and the face was behind them all the time, like, and it didn't, the stairwell never ended. And oh God, that was so good. And I remember it. Was it something in the 50s? Might have been 53 or 52. And there was a game, and I played the game, and I was so terrified. I was so terrified. It was like this, like it was the time when I think Slender came out, if I perhaps I'm wrong on all of this, so correct me in the comments if I'm wrong about this, but I'm pretty sure there was something there like that. I would love to play that game again. And if you know which one it is, please please put it in the comments. I want to read it again. I might do a video on it as well, because I loved it. It was so scary. It was one of the scariest things I've ever read. You know, because normally if you read stuff, it's not that scary. Like, yeah, if you listen to stuff, like they're telling me it might be more scary because people can like create like audio stuff and you can't read at the pace you want. Like you have to listen to it the pace the reader reads. But man, it was one of the 2 stories where I like got a nightmare from reading something. The other being Whisper in the Darkness from Lovecraft. But man, that was so bad. And I remember the inmates. It was so horrifying. They just sent those poor sods down there to die or to get gobbled up or whatever the fuck it was that was down the stairway. Why would they use the stupid demon thing? Like, that's not scary. Why wouldn't they use the weird staircase thing? That like this is too cliche, the image. Like, but I love the video. It's great. But this image like of the devil ding dong, who gives a shit? I don't know. But like religion can be scary, but like this devil ding dong, like what's he gonna do? Like they could lock him in the cell apparently. So Newton, yeah, just like weld shut. What's the problem? I don't know.
The next primary object class is Keter, described by the Foundation as anomalies that are exceedingly difficult to contain consistently or reliably,
like the color from space,
often being extensive and complex. This can either be due to being an extremely volatile and dangerous anomaly, or just one that seems to defy known laws of physics or reality, and is thus extremely difficult to understand or contain. The SCP Foundation has a vast number of secret facilities across the globe, and while the Keter-class SCPs are not nearly as common as the Euclid class, they consume a great deal more resources to safely contain. One particularly terrifying Keter-class SCP is SCP-354, colloquially known by the Foundation employees as the Blood Pond. This SCP is a large pool of non-biological red liquid discovered in North Canada that appears to be a kind of interdimensional primordial soup. What makes this SCP particularly hard to contain, as well as extremely frightening, is the fact that hostile entities periodically emerge from the pond.
Okay, so it's basically the dimensional rift from this anime where there are the neighbors coming in all the time. Or like it's the typical Portal and stuff comes out, or Pacific Rim. Okay, I get it. It's cool. It's cool. Like, so what do they have there? Do they have the, like, couldn't they just drain the lake? Like, make it, like, pour water from it away? Like, so you... I don't know. They probably tried it. I need to read up on it. I have many questions to many of these SCPs, how they work. Because I'm pretty sure this is just the surface that he can tell me here, which is, of course, fine to get an introduction, but...
and must be neutralized before they can escape the containment area.
Yeah, obviously.
These entities have included a floating black sphere that can fire concentrated beams of deadly radiation.
Great.
A 15-foot-tall reptilian humanoid that seemed immune to gunfire. And a homicidal metallic humanoid nicknamed the Terminator by Foundation personnel.
Just nuke it.
The most highly classified primary object class of all is Thalmiel, which consists of SCPs used to contain other SCPs. This
That sounds like an angel. Why does it sound like an angel?
Can range from SCP-7000-J, a book of Latin incantations bound in dinosaur skin that can summon various other entities, all the way to SCP-4006, which is the entire state of Massachusetts. Thalmiel-class SCPs are the most bizarre and esoteric.
What? 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 Is there a running joke about Massachusetts? I don't know. Like, why would it be Massachusetts? Like, are there some... I don't know.
Of the anomalies dealt with by the Foundation, but thankfully, they often pose less of an active threat than many of the Euclid or Keter-class SCPs.
Yeah.
Finally, as mentioned earlier, sometimes the SCP Foundation deems an anomaly too dangerous to contain and just needs to destroy it entirely.
Destroy it!
A terrifying example of a neutralized SCP, and a perfect illustration for just how strange and abstract the anomalies dealt with by the Foundation can be, is SCP-4991.
Great,
this SCP manifested as a series of bizarre posts across a number of websites about an apocalyptic event that seemed to be occurring on a different layer of reality and seemed to indicate that a kind of deadly parasitic and carnivorous insect was spreading like wildfire across the globe, causing death and destruction in their wake. The SCP Foundation neutralized SCP-4991 by tracking down, containing, and erasing all infected posts across the internet before it could spread too far. Who knows what would have happened if the Foundation hadn't intervened?
Okay, I didn't get that one. Like, were the posts the insects? What? That's weird. I didn't get that one.
As often the case with SCPs, it's probably best just not to think about it. The actual structure of the SCP Foundation is surprisingly transparent, with personnel classification levels ranging from Class A to Class E. Class A personnel are considered vital to the strategic operations of the Foundation and therefore are not allowed to be in direct contact in any way with any of the SCPs due to potential risks. Class B personnel are vital to local Foundation operations on SCP test sites and are only permitted to be in contact with SCPs deemed to be relatively safe. Class C personnel are field agents that have far more direct contact with the SCPs and often put themselves at great risk in doing so.
Why is there a bear?
Class D personnel, as previously mentioned, are essentially cannon fodder thrown into the jaws of death to discover more about the more dangerous anomalies on the SCP roster. And finally, Class E personnel are personnel that have been already exposed to the potentially dangerous effects of an unknown anomaly. Class E personnel are placed into quarantine until they're deemed fit to return to work or terminated, depending on the results of their observations.
I have to say, I really love the idea of something being there and you don't know what it is. It's a weird thing that might defy laws of physics or whatever. And you have death row inmates or some poor sods you can use to test it, and you can test like some ideas. That's I like the idea for telling scary stuff, because it's like this coffee machine. You could make them like, yes, of course, the perfect coffee, or you could make them brew a coffee that floats, and then let people drink it and see if they float as well, and they might then like the floaty part might like go into them and they like float apart and the molecules aren't bound anymore or some stuff like that. Or perhaps sometimes nothing happens. Like, that's so cool. I like that as a premise. Like there are pros and cons to stories that deal with government facility workers that test stuff and such, because obviously we don't know about SCPs. Like, we know about them from this and stuff, but you know what I mean? So there are some limitations in storylines like that, but there are also great potentials there. And you can really explore stuff, because something that I really struggle with sometimes in horror stories, like I sometimes write some on my own, like having more than one protagonist is difficult to have. So they always survive, or they are implied to die after whatever the fuck they encounter, you know. But so this is a cool way to have multiple protagonists that you can play out situations, and you don't know who survives. I really like that. That's a cool storytelling device. Very cool.
In terms of actual roles in the SCP Foundation, the top of the pyramid are the O5 Council members, Class A personnel who have full clearance and oversee all Foundation operations. Below them are Site Directors, who manage the various physical Foundation facilities across the globe and report back to the O5 Council. On site, researchers and containment specialists work together to better understand and combat the anomalies being housed at their particular facility. They're kept safe by the hard work of veteran security and tactical response.
Really? So there are two possibilities. You know which ones they are, probably. One, there was just a walking shark there, or two, the weird ding-dong that fucked up his dance routine. The shark costume got mad, and the shark costume is now, whatever, changed, hunted, whatever. Why was there a... whatever. I love it, it's so
ready to lay down their lives to prevent more dangerous SCPs from ever escaping and reaching developed areas.
So fucking
in the event that an SCP does breach containment and escape, or a new one is discovered, field operatives are dispatched by the Foundation to get the situation under control. These will consist of field agents who already operate across the globe, and specialized mobile task force operatives. The SCP Foundation has eyes and ears everywhere.
Let me guess, the Eiffel Tower is an SCP as well.
Influential and is embedded in every facet of society, ready to strike and suppress an emerging anomaly before any ripples of its existence can reach the wider world. Even here, we've only really scratched the surface of the SCP Foundation's
okay, great,
extensive
yeah.
and frankly mind-boggling global and historical operations. There's plenty of information about the Foundation online, many of which people assume is pure fiction.
Yeah,
but wouldn't that be the perfect cover for a real secret organization wanting to cover its tracks? As the quote says, the greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he doesn't exist. Ultimately, the SCP Foundation is on the side of mankind, but that doesn't mean it'll always act in our best interests.
Why not?
After all, if it means preserving the peace and getting another anomaly under wraps, the Foundation won't hesitate to terminate you and everyone you know without a second thought. Whether you'd want to face off.
What? It doesn't make sense. They would die. Like, if they don't care for everyone, like, yes, I know they will sacrifice, like, villages or people or whatever. Whatever, yeah, just sacrifice them. That doesn't matter. Like, you know, this typical evil government shit or whatever. So, like, this trope. But, like, if everyone's dead, what's the point? Like, they surely have to prioritize saving humanity at least. Like, why would they do it otherwise? To, like, are they corrupt? Are their leaders influenced by an SCP? And it's not for humanity. It's for the great species of Dirk. Yeah, I don't know. Doesn't make that much sense, you know?
Or one of the anomalies they wish to contain.
What is that? Why is there this weird guy?
End well for you. Oh, speaking of which, there's another SCP we forgot to mention that's quite literally unspeakable. SCP-2521 is a creature that's made entirely of strange black tendrils that envelop and smother the creature's prey. No written records of the creature exist outside of pictograms because it immediately attacks and consumes any information produced about it. This
I don't know. That doesn't make sense. Like, he tells me, I'm just joking. Perhaps I will have the time and resources to add in black tendrils to that joke, but yeah.
Includes speech, as the creature will appear and consume anyone who. Oh God! Oh no! It's here! It's here! Help me! Ah! Pay no mind to what you just witnessed. I, the infographics show narrator, am perfectly fine.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess that was it. I think I get the premise. I don't know, please, there are some questions I have. So for everyone who just wanted me to react to it and not go into what I thought about it, feel free to like and subscribe if you want more content like this. I will do, like, perhaps my idea is to, like, do 1 or 2 SCPs a month. The ones you find most scary, please. So put down all the SCPs you find most scary in the comments, and I will see if I can get videos, like, on them somewhere or whatever. We might go to the website and check them out. That would be fun. But yeah, like, yeah, I don't know. So let's get into some thoughts. Yeah. So yeah, I remember some stuff, but not much. Like I said, I remember the Weeping Angel statue thing. I remember the dude that was, like, I remember reading that he was on a pixel in the photo and suddenly he ran at the people looking at the photo and he killed them. That one was a bit freaky as well. I like the idea. And then, of course, the black tendril thing, like, okay, so to the questions. First question, how much horror is this? And how much exploring concepts? Because I know from experience, like I said, with the staircase, that was horror. That was pure horror, very scary, very spooky. But some of the stuff they showed you was just, like, some cutesy stuff, some tropes worked in, some funny stories, some thought experiments. Like, what like is there horror in it? How much is there? And can I be frightened by that? Because I love horror. I want to be frightened. So if you know stuff that's frightening, put it in the comments. Like, if there are SCPs, please just put them down. And I want to see if I get scared and I might rate them or whatever, or review them. Second thing is, I really like the way, if I remember correctly, that these SCPs are presented. I think there's a database or something, and there are, like, documents, and some parts are redacted and stuff. So it gives this impression of being real. Though I have to admit, after this video, seeing that there's SCP-1000 or whatever, like, it starts to be a bit like, it doesn't seem that it wants to be realistic anymore. It's just this idea world that they explore, which it's fine. It's very cool. I like that. Like, but I think I remember that I thought, yeah, like, I had the feeling they wanted it to be realistic and real and plausible. But if you have like things like Massachusetts is a SCP and stuff, I don't know if the writing is consistently good enough, because you have to be really, really good at writing stuff like that. And like, all the stuff has to make sense. And the suspension of disbelief can't be shattered too easily, like by the theatrical thing. That immediately like was, okay, it's all fiction. Like, is that wanted? Like, do they want that? I don't know. Like, what is the core idea about it? Is it exploring concepts, or is it doing horror, or is it both in parts? And yeah, I don't really understand that yet, because to be honest, some of the ideas they presented were just too easily debunkable, or had some internal logical flaws or stuff. But then some were very, very good. Like the pregnant woman's thing, I loved that. That was so good. Or the blob thing, the coffee machine, I loved that. I loved that one. That was good. Like, that was very cool. But the weird reptilian thing that, like, you could just throw it into a hole, I guess. Like, why care so much about it? Or like that every government is like, there are people of them. Like, do you know how stupid people are? Like, I've seen people in government. I've seen people in government be really stupid. Like, don't you think it would leak? Like, that's also this part of suspension of disbelief. It would be, if it would be just this one company and it wouldn't have connections to everywhere and stuff, and it would try its best, and there weren't so many anomalies. Like, do you think that hurts the universe of SCP, or is it just, do I just have to, because I just want to understand how I have to go about this? Do I have to just pretend, okay, this is real, and then we explore it? Like, is it like a fiction universe, or am I supposed to think, oh, this might be real? Like, what's the idea behind it? I don't get that yet. And I think it's the former. And like, I think it's, yeah, of course, like, I mean, obviously it's fake, but you know, like, it's okay. Some things don't make sense. This is a parallel world we are talking about, so to speak. Like, all the stuff is, imagine there is a world where the SCP Foundation exists, and then this stuff happens. Like, yeah, how big are they in pretending it's reality here in our world? Like, how much is that a thing? I didn't get that really. Also, I really want more SCPs, more in depth, because I now remembered how scary they are. And yeah, so I really like the video, by the way. It's very good. Like what I said, it's like, in a nutshell, perfect way of, like, that made it realistic as well. Like, I like the way they did the video. It was a stylistic choice that really, really gave it the sense that it was like just a documentary. Very cool stuff. I loved that. Narrator was cool, and it might be the same. It might be the same one. I'm not sure, but it might be the same one. And yeah, like, that was cool. So, like, as I said, my plan is like do 1 or 2 SCPs a month that you think are very scary, and we might watch a video about them. And then if there is a database, just tell me in the comments. I will look at that entry as well. We will go through it, and then we will discuss it, how realistic it is perhaps, and then how scary it is. Would that be a cool thing to do? I don't know if anyone's interested. So next video will be out in about half a month, I guess. And perhaps sooner if someone has a very good idea or something. But yeah, I really enjoyed this. I want to know more. Like that, I want to know more about this. It's cool. Want to see more ideas and think about them, because I like thinking, and I like to overthink, as you've seen probably in other reactions of mine. Like, sometimes I talk too much, like I'm doing now, perhaps. But anyway, yeah. Remember, if you like this content, I consider liking, subscribing. It's up there now. And please, perhaps share the video. And as I said, almost 2,000 people. Perhaps we reach it by the end of the month. That would be so cool. And I hope you have a very, very great day, and everything is fine on your end, and you don't get gobbled up by the coffee machine SCP or the weird bog, the red blood thing. Like, just take buckets and carry it away. Perhaps it didn't work. We don't know. Anyway, see you soon, hopefully. Bye.